Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Impact review for the 1st of July, 2021. Not exactly the best of shows, but again, they are struggling with having what I would consider to be lesser talents than they've had in other eras, and also the AEW combo gimmick has basically diluted everything but their main storyline down to ineffective at best. Anyhow, so we open with actually the BTI show is Deanna Perrazzo defeating Kimberly, which we don't see. I don't know why that's not on the main show. Opening video recaps Don Callis and Tommy Dreamer setting up tonight's main event between Omega and the Good Brothers versus Callahan, Moose, and Sabin. Edwards and Kojima challenged for the tag titles last week, which ended with Edwards asking Kojima for a singles match only to get confronted by Morrissey. Show opens with Edwards versus Kojima, or was going to, but Morrissey comes out and says Edwards is not going to make it to the match. Morrissey then said everyone respects Edwards, but no one had his back when he jumped him in the parking lot. Edwards, Myers, and Sam Beal comes, or instead of Edwards, Sam Beal and Ryan Myers comes out. Myers talks trash about Kojima and ended up attacking him 2-on-1. Jake Something comes out to make the save. Ref comes out and tag match is official. Kojima and Jake Something defeat Brian Myers and Sam Beal. Matches brawl outside the ring at the start. Kojima and Something bring back Myers and Beal after they tried to leave for the back. Something gets cut off. Myers and Beal works for most of the match. They keep tagging in and out, never letting go of their advantage, or of Something either. Something manages to hit a double clothesline and then gets a bit of a breather, tagged to Kojima. Kojima takes out Myers, hits a series of machine gun chops on Beal, another top rope elbow, and a DDT. But he was about to hit the Koji cutter. He gets cut off by Myers. Something hits a black hole slam like Abyss, and Myers allowing Kojima to hit the Koji cutter and lariat for the win. I don't know. This seems rushed and also awkward. Anyway, so GM Miller interviews Scott D'Amore about Anthem's decision to have Dreamer remain the representative to oversee operations. Rosemary and Havoc appear before them and claimed that they have a win over Fire and Flava and wanted to challenge for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. D'Amore didn't make it official, but he says he'll consider it. And then Rachel Ellering with Jazz defeats Tenille. Dashwood with Caleb with a K. What a waste of Rachel Ellering. Dashwood has been a thorn in her side. Action goes back and forth. Ellering gains a bit of momentum. Caleb interferes, distracting her and allowing Dashwood to cut her off and get things going back her way. Dashwood's in control for a while, but can't keep her opponent down. Ellering keeps kicking out. Dashwood then throws things at her. Dashwood then distracts herself by taking a photo. Ellering catches her with a swinging neckbreaker and then cuts off momentum. Caleb tries to interfere and give Dashwood control. Ellering gets rid of him, blocking a sunset flip from Dashwood, and rolls on down for the pin win. And so Dashwood and Caleb gang up on Ellering, and Jazz tries to save. Grace runs down and helps clear the ring. Ellering offers a handshake. Grace hugged her. And I don't know. This just feels like a backward step. Miller interviews Chris Bay about being a neutral party in the gang war that's happening in the X Division. Bay said that he's out there for himself only. Austin, Raju, Shira, and Fulton come down. Bay thought that he would try to be recruited, but they told Bay they didn't need him, but said he wasn't getting in the way. Apparently, he may end up a babyface here, and absolutely no one will care. Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus TJP and Fallah Bahh entered in a no contest. Basically, stalemates between both teams early, high flying from Swann. Violent by Design runs down and attacks both teams. Rhino gores Mack. Diener hits the DDT on TJP. Doring hit a DVD on Swann, and both teams are left laying by Violent by Design. Backstage, Hogan and Steels argue that Havoc and Rosemary shouldn't be allowed to just jump in and ask for title matches. They should have to work for the bottom during the spot, and then they go looking for D'Amore. D'Amore books the match where Havoc and Rosemary can earn their shot. Hogan and Steels are enjoyable in their role as heels. Miller interviews Dreamer and says his team for tonight's match and whether everyone's on the same page. Dreamer then says that they all have the same enemy and they need to work together. Sabin says he's there for Dreamer and Impact and willing to work with the team for it. Moose told them he doesn't care about anyone. All he cares about is winning. And Callahan said that all that matters is beating up Omega and friends. Chris Bay defeats Petey Williams. Fast-paced match throughout and lots of back and forth. Williams gets near falls. In the early stages, momentum turns to Bay and then catches Sigger's kicks between the ropes. Match slows down a bit. Bay locks on the leg scissors and reverses the leg lock. Williams comes back with a German suplex and some running knees, but then he goes for the Canadian Destroyer. Bay blocks, hits a TKO, neckbreaker, and Bay goes for Art of Finesse, but it's countered with a Russian leg sweep, and then Williams chases the Destroyer, but it's blocked, and he gets locked in the sharpshooter, and then a near fall. Bay blocks a third Destroyer, hits a cutter, and Art of Finesse for the win. They are going to meet again at the pay-per-view as part of the X Division Elevated X or Ultimate X match. Ace Austin, Raju, and Shura and Fulton come out. They attack Williams, and Austin and Raju basically hold Bay off from getting involved. Bay leaves to the back, and Miguel and Josh Anderson run down to save Williams, and the heels take over. Bay has a change of heart, runs down and helps the attack. Austin and friends get run off by the babyfaces, and babyfaces accept Bay as a new member of their team. Susan and Kimberly plot and that their plans have in fact failed and they've hit rock bottom. Lee tries to convince Susan they should chase the titles, and there's always Su Yung as a backup plan, and Susan doesn't know who Su Yung is. This multi-personality thing is kind of lame at this point. Jake something cuts a promo about not being the man he was before. He says it doesn't matter what his name is because he does his talking in the ring. He challenged Brian Myers to a match. If Myers wins, he must call him a professional. Steve McLean defeats Manny Smith. McCain debuts a few weeks back, and this is his second match with the promotion, squash match, and McLean never loses control. Hits a headlock, holds it for a while, hits an Olympic slam and a couple of lariats, a smear, or a spear, and a German suplex, and then hits the Michinoku driver for the win. And then we go to the main event segment, which ultimately isn't too great a thing. Team Dreamer is in some turmoil, although they do have the common enemies. I mean, for a main event segment, this is fine. Dissension between Moose and Sabin comes up in the match. Callahan decides to tag in early and deals with everything himself. Manages to maintain control through the commercial break. Does enough to work with Sabin for a little bit. Sabin and Moose start tagging each other, and they go after things the hard way, and they work it through distractions, and Anderson's able to cut Sabin off, and then they go around with things a bit here, and then Omega and the brothers work over Sabin, quick tags, a couple of triple team maneuvers along the way, and they go pretty hard with the strikes. Sabin at one point manages to escape and jumps to a hot tag, but Moose then doesn't extend his hand, and Callahan has to jump in for the hot tag. So Callahan goes for the package pile driver on Anderson, but Omega distracts the referee and allows Anderson low blow Callahan, and then forces him to tag in Sabin again. Sabin can't keep things down. Omega is going at it completely. Moose blind tags himself in and cuts things off. Sabin's momentum is cut off in the process, and Moose insists that he's tagged himself in, and he then chokeslams Sabin. Dreamer complained to Moose about them turning on him, but Callis pushes Dreamer into Moose without them noticing. Moose thought Dreamer had attacked, and so he attacks back. Back in the ring, Moose and Callahan, and with no access to Moose and Callahan, Sabin's easy prey for Omega and the Good Brothers to finish, and they get the win, and they celebrate in the ring as the show goes off the air. Not by any means a good representation of something worth watching next week. We'll be back with more right after this.